Right in the morning. In this morning show, we are here to inspire you about building your own business and helping you stay on track of your goals. It's a daily cup of motivation. A supportive group of women who wants to see you succeed in your business, and we'll support you every step of the way. Right in the morning. Just put your mind to it. Coffee with Nikkie. Wake up everybody in the morning. Wake up everybody. It's coffee with Nikkie, and we have to get our drink on. So educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Hey, we riding, yo. Wake up in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm yawning, brainstorming when my mind is forming. Time to tune to this morning show early in the morning. Listen to Coffee with Nikkie. Oh yes, she's busy. If you need help, tune on the channel right with me. Strong, independent women make it sound easy. Wake up everybody in the morning. Wake up everybody. It's coffee with Nikkie, and we have to get our drink on. So educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Hey, we riding, yo.
Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing this amazing, another sunny day? How are you guys doing this amazing sunny day? It is a beautiful day outside. I went outside and it is not too hot. It's perfect. It's perfect out there. Definitely perfect to do some garden work. I definitely have some of that to do. I got a whole lot of garden work to do before Thursday, but my goal right now is I'm not going to be able to get the garden up and ready the way I want it to be before Thursday. And so what I'm going to do is put everything in the ground and just make sure everything is protected. And when I come back, then I work on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I would try to do everything before I have 2 days, like less than two. No, I have a day. I have 2 days, today and tomorrow. And I still have so much to do. So I've decided while I was getting ready for Coffee with Nikkie this morning, I said, I'm not even going to worry about trying to get everything to look the way I want it to look. I'm going to, clear up the space, and I'm going to put the stuff in the ground so that it can be working and growing while I'm out of town. So that's what I decided I am going to do this morning. Yesterday, I went to Candles and Supplies Plus. I absolutely love going there. And I also seen Cindy yesterday. She didn't remember me. She was like, oh, I remember you. I was like, you don't remember me. But anyway, I still was there. Absolutely. I love that store. I had to get some soap because I have to do 100 favors. I am at about I may be at 55 right now. So I'm going to knock all of that out today before heading out into the garden. And I have to create the labels for the soap. It's a graduation. So I have to create the labels for the back of the soap and then shrink wrap it and boom, bam, bit it. I'm done. And so, yeah, that's what I got to do. So welcome to everybody. welcome everybody to Coffee with Nikkie. I am your host, Miss Nikkie. This is your daily cup of information and inspiration. So today we're going to be talking about goals. We're going to be talking about gardening. We're going to talk about supplies. We're going to be talking about all of those things. So how's everybody where you are? What's the weather where you are? Do you got sunny skies? Do you got rainy skies? What's going on? Let me know in the area where you are. Also, my friend said that she would come on and help you guys with your gardening. So the first Thursday in June, she agreed. So you guys, if you are interested in growing anything, you want to be in the room, especially if you have questions, if you started something, and something is not growing the way you wanted it to grow, or something is, going a little wonky and you don't know what's happening. Are you doing the right thing? You want to make sure you're in the room. So definitely going to be having that on the first Thursday in June. So make sure that you guys are there. So while I am seeing where the weather are, you guys tell me where the weather is where you are. I feel like today's Wednesday. I can't get my words together. I am trying to work it out, but today is feeling like a Wednesday to me. Let me see who's in the building. Good morning. And my face look a little bit greasy, but it's definitely hydrated. This is my About Face serum on my face. And yes, I will go outside with a greasy face as long as my face ain't dry. So, yeah, but it feels so amazing. I absolutely love it. I'm looking at my face. I'm like, oh, you look a little greasy, girl. But it's hydrated and it feels so wonderful. So, and it's great for nighttime too. So, good morning, good morning, good morning, cousin. Cousins in the building. You guys know her as Latrice, or you may know her as the best moderator on what? Earth. The best moderator on Earth's in the building. Good morning, cousin. She said, good morning, my hearts. Good morning, Melody. Melody said, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Big Meech. Big Meech is in the building, and you already know. As soon as you walk through the door, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Soon as you walk through the door. Good morning, Miss Lois. How are you doing this amazing morning? She said, good morning, Queenies. Good morning, sis. Good morning, Chantel. She said, good morning. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing this amazing morning? I see you said it's already hot down there. They said it's hot in Texas. We are about to get it. Yesterday was extremely hot. Yesterday it was about and not extremely hot for us here. It was about 85 degrees. Big Meech, what was our temperature yesterday? About 85 degrees. It was a little scorcher. Little scorcher. That's what Sean says. She calls it a scorcher. It was a little scorcher. Good morning, Miss Kim. Good morning, good morning, good morning. She said, good morning, lovelies. Good morning. Beautiful, warm, sunny California days over here. Okay. And I hope it's, you got a nice cool breeze too. Hope you got a nice cool breeze. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Martini. Martini says, good morning. The weather is beautiful in the Bay so far. Hey, let's get it. Let's go. Good morning, Miss Deltra. Miss Deltra said, good morning, ladies. The weather is amazing. Sunny day. Seems like everybody has good weather where we are. That, you know what that means. Get your stuff in the ground. Get your stuff in the ground and start planting stuff. Yes, about 85. The sun was super hot. Yep, it was beaming. Yep, that's what made it hotter. And that is the truth. Because I was driving to Candles and Supplies yesterday. And I was like, oh, I don't need the air conditioner because it ain't going to be that hot. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness, it was so hot. I was like, yes, I do need the air conditioner. I was like, I cannot take it in here. Even with the windows down, it still had hot air blowing in there. I was like, I can't take this. I can't take this. Good weather during the week. Then on the weekend, it rains. Yep. And you guys are out there at the market. It's crazy. It's about 100. Oh my goodness. That is hot, Melissa. It's about 100 with the humidity. Oh my goodness. So when you are making products, right? And especially your body butters, do you have the air on, or it doesn't affect your body butters inside? It's hot Texas all year round. It was 92 and it feels like 105. Whoo. Miss Lois, I hope you got your air conditioner going in your she shed. Hey, Betty Rose. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, I thought it was just us. It's been fire out here and extremely wet humidity. Yeah. No, I mean, it's starting to warm up. We had rain for a very long time. And like I said, I felt like we're still in April. Like I didn't feel like we were in May flowers. I felt like we were still in April showers because it was crazy outside. Like every single day we had rain, every single day. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like it was filling up the bottom of my pans from my seed trays. It was filling those up. I had to keep pouring it out because I didn't want my seedlings to be overwatered. I didn't watered. I didn't want it to be overwatered. You know what I mean? So I had to pour that out and do what I had to do because it was just doing too much. It was doing too much. Oh, you better get that AC together, Miss Betty Rose. Because the fan don't work. The fan don't work when it's hot. It's still super hot. Still super hot. The rain was ridiculous out here. Lots of flooding for me here. Yep. Same. The great thing that about here is that I have the water draining, and then I have the water draining away from the house, which is great because if not, it would have been flooded here too. AC is on all year round. I'm making emulsified body butter. That's a great idea. That's a great idea because them body butters in the heat, they start to melt. I don't turn off my body butters in the summertime. I tried to do that. I told my customers, due to the heat and everything, your body butters may come melted or whatever. And I said, so I'm gonna stop doing them in the winter time. I mean, in the summertime, and just offer them when the weather starts getting cool again. And people were like, "Oh no, don't do that! Don't do that! No, 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 no." So I figured out a way how to send my body butter so they do not melt. And I have had minimal, very minimal, orders where their body butter came melted. And if it did come melted, it's because they left it outside in the beaming sun, or the post office didn't get it to them in time, right? Because I do offer heat protection on their orders. So I put an ice pack in there, and I have thermal packaging. I do have a video on that if you guys want to see it. Heat thermal wrap and ice packs I put in there, and then I wrap the products in plastic, in like a plastic cello bag. I wrap it in plastic, and I don't use those starch peanuts, because if you use starch peanuts in there, they're going to start dissolving in there. It's going to be a nice nasty mess in there. So I use, if you order from Uline always gives you a bunch of styrofoam peanuts. Although last time I ordered from Uline, which was a couple of days ago, they gave me the starch peanuts. So I don't have the styrofoam ones that they gave, but usually I use those, and that helps to keep everything cool inside. So that's a little tip for you guys if you are wanting to still have your body butters in the summertime. Uline has a great deal on the ice packs, especially if you guys use your Net 30. They have the 3 ounce. I use the 3 ounces for one, and if they order 2 or more butters, then I have the 6 ounce ice pack. They're inexpensive. They're very inexpensive, and they're easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I also use the thermal bubble wrap. That stuff's not cheap, but it works. You know what I'm saying? I create an insulation, like kind of like an insulated box. Instead of getting the bags, I just buy the bubble wrap, and I just put it in there like that, and put my ice pack, the product, styrofoam peanuts. If not styrofoam peanuts, I use those bubbles, the plastic bubbles, and put those in there. Anything that I think is going to get melted, or like the condensation is going to mess up something, I put that on top of the thermal wrap. So that's just a little tip for the summer, y'all. Just a little tip for the summer. You do not have to stop, but you are going to have to do other things in order for it to happen. And even if you do the ice pack and the thermal bubble wrap, I do that at an additional cost. Like I don't just throw that in the pack, right? I'm not going to increase the cost, but I'm not increasing the cost of the product itself. But if you want the protection, and I suggest that you do, because if it's hot, especially if you live somewhere hot like Vegas, Florida, Arizona, if you live in those places where it's like hot, then I suggest that you get that. And so there's an additional fee in order for you to get it, and that's how I do it. That's how I do it. So I offer them like a little check box, or I offer a little check box and let them decide what they want to do. So if it gets melted, you know what I'm saying, it will not be our fault, because we say that it's a meltable product in the description. So if you want to still sell your body butters or anything that's meltable, you may want to offer that. It doesn't affect my body butters inside, but my body butter is pretty stable in hotter temps. Okay, got you. I keep my AC and ceiling fans on. Got you. I turn my air on. It doesn't affect my butters. Otherwise, they will melt, which is why I was thinking about halting body butter sales. But I need my coins. Do not halt. Do not halt. I'm going to speak from experience. Do not halt. If you doing your business credit or whatever, go on over to Uline. Get you. This is a little tip, y'all. A little tip. Go on over to Uline. Get you the 3 ounce or the 6 ounce or both ice packs, and you get a box of those. I don't even remember how many's in the box, but you get a box of those, get the thermal wrap, and do what I just said. And offer it for an additional whatever. So you could say heat protection is about $3.99, $4.99, whatever you want to say it is, and you let them know. Since it's hot, and we don't know where your package is going to be, if it's going to be on a hot truck or if it's going to be sitting out in the sun, we suggest that you do the heat protection. And with the heat protection, it will provide a cooler temperature in the box for your body butter so that they will not melt by the time they get to you. We will definitely send it out priority or whatever so that you'll get it in 2 to 3 days or 1 to 2 days, however that works. And yeah, and then still offer it. I would say don't. If you don't have to, don't. Um, your body butter is pretty stable. Got you. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I freeze my regular body butter and I wrap them in thermal packaging. I want to try that. I've never tried to freeze my body butter. And the reason why I don't freeze my body butter is because I think that since it doesn't have a preservative, I think that the condensation in the body butter in the jar, that's where my mind goes. I don't know if that's even a thing, but that's where my mind goes. Like when it starts to dethaw, is that a word, dethaw? When it starts to thaw out, when it starts to thaw out, is the condensation, going to get into the body butter, which is going to create, mold and all that other stuff. So I haven't done that. Yes, thermal wrap is high as heck. Yes, it is. I think it's like $100 a roll. Like it is expensive. I saw the thermal wraps and ice pack on Uline. Definitely getting those. Yep, definitely get them. Definitely, definitely, definitely. You can also add it as a handling fee. Yes, 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 you can. Um, that they don't even know they're paying for. Okay, that's true because they do offer that on your website. They say, do you want to have shipping and handling or handling? They do the shipping and then the handling if you want to do an extra fee. It doesn't get watery when it's thawed out. That's the same thing I was asking Meech. One of the companies that I get my glass jars from, they offer protective wrapping for $4. So it's okay for us to add that charge. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because if your customer wants it to be protected, then they will pay for it. If they don't want to pay for it, then they have to deal with the body butter being melted or whatever that product is being melted. Now, like I said, I offer that on my meltable products. So like my lotion bars, some of my melt and pour soap. I've never had an instance where my melt and pour soap melted in a box, but I did do a market and it was extremely hot. It was so hot outside. It was a taco festival and we did surprisingly well at a taco festival, but it was so hot outside. And even though we shaded everything and did all the things that we could to make sure that the products didn't get too overheated, the soaps were melting. Like I had not gummy bears, but they look like bigger gummy bears. That's how I was selling them, like gummy bears, but they were like little teddy bears. And they were melting inside the plastic. And I had to take all of those melt and pour soaps down. So and it just have, show it when somebody said they was looking for soap because I didn't expect that to happen. And this is why we are saying like at markets, and this is a perfect time to have this conversation at markets. If you're outdoors, those inflatable they're not bars, they're like inflatable tubs, trays, and put the ice at the bottom and then maybe put an acrylic tray on it and put your stuff on the top. Or I don't suggest, and I'm not gonna say I don't suggest, I am not comfortable with handling what do you call that ice? What do you call that ice, y'all? Dry ice. I'm not comfortable with that. So some people will use that. I will not because like I said, I'm not comfortable with it. And I'm not comfortable with my customer being near it because people don't listen and people kids touch stuff. I don't need anybody's kid touching something they're not supposed to be touching. So yeah. That's something you can have. They have those inflatable trays at on Amazon. And or have a cooler with you. Or have a cooler with you. No condensation occurs. I tested oils before I started to sell it. Okay, gotcha, Miss Lois. That's pretty cool. Yes, dry ice. Yep. Yep. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that. But at markets, you may want to have, you got to have a cool option. Even if you put ice packs in, even if you put the ice packs on the bottom of the tray. And you can put the ice packs in their packaging as well if they want, if they want that so that their stuff don't melt when they're walking around because you don't want people to form an opinion about about your product when, it's nothing wrong with your product. It's just the weather conditions, and there's nothing that you can do about that. You're not in control of the weather. So since you're not in control of the weather, you can control how the product is going to perform. You can say, I could offer you an ice pack, but you should hurry up and get home, or you could pick this up for me before you leave the event, or stuff like that, so that they are not walking around with their body butters or things that can get melted. And oh, I look crazy, girl. What is going on? Can y'all see me? Put ones in the chat. Can y'all see me? Put ones in the chat. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea how I froze. I froze looking like a crazy lady. I don't know what happened. Can y'all see me? Put ones in the chat. Can you see me? Can you see me? The computer just froze. I had to restart everything. Okay, good. I had to restart, come back, and here we go. And here we go. Let's act like this never happened. Let's start it all. Let's start all over again. Okay? Let's act like this never happened.
Welcome to the show. Right in the morning with Nikkie. In this morning show, we are here to inspire you about building your own business and helping you stay on track of your goals. It's a daily cup of motivation. A supportive group of women who wants to see you succeed in your business, and we'll support you every step of the way. Right in the morning. Just put your mind to it. Coffee with Nikkie. Wake up everybody in the morning. Wake up everybody. It's coffee with Nikkie, and we have to get our drink on. So educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Hey, we riding, yo. Wake up in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm yawning, brainstorming when my mind is forming. Time to tune to this morning show early in the morning. Listen to Coffee with Nikkie. Oh yes, she's busy. If you need help, tune on the channel right with me. Strong, independent women, make it sound easy. Wake up everybody in the morning. Wake up everybody. It's coffee with Nikkie, and we have to get our drink on. So educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Hey, we riding, yo.
Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing this amazing, beautiful, sunshiny morning? All right, y'all. I have no idea what happened, but we are back. So we were talking about thermal packaging. We were talking about your meltable products, how to ship them when the weather starts to get too hot or too warm in places where it can melt. We spoke about that. I told you guys where you can purchase your supplies, and you may even find somewhere cheaper than Uline, but especially if you want to use your Net 30. Going ahead. Now, every time I say little before something, I always try to check myself, like your little business, I always try to check myself when I'm saying it. So, but y'all know what I'm saying. You can get your ice packs from there, your thermal packaging from there, and also get some bubbles or some styrofoam peanuts, because those starch peanuts are not going to work in those things. And according to Miss Lois said when she freezes her body butters, her body butters don't have the condensation in the jars, which is great. So you may even want to try that. Ship it to yourself and see how that works. So yeah, let's get back into it. Good morning, sis. Good morning. Jules is in the building, y'all. Oh, good morning, Miss Linda. I didn't see you. Good morning. I don't see your word this morning, but let's keep going. So today, when I was writing out what I wanted to talk about today, I had asked myself this question: are you actively participating in your success? Or are you actively participating in your failures? That came to my mind this morning. I don't know why that came to me. But I was going to just we were talking about goals and stuff like that, because cousin already said everybody in here was getting a little lax on things, not doing what they supposed to be doing, not posting the way they supposed to be posting, not doing the stuff they should be doing. And so I was thinking about goals, and I thought that I was like, you know what? Are you actively participating in your success? Right. And the reason why I say that is because you know all the things that you need to do. Like we say this all the time. You should set SMART goals. You know that you should have some kind of schedule, that you should be on you should be disciplined, that you should be intentional, that you should be writing things down. We know all of the things that are necessary for us to be successful, but we are not applying that. How many of y'all are feeling me what I'm saying in the chat? Let me know if you're feeling me in the chat. You know everything that you got to do in order to be successful, but for some reason or another, and I'm just going to leave it at that, some reason or another for this particular moment, that is just not happening. For some reason or another. Let me know in the chat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me know. So are you actively participating in your success? You know everything or your failures, right? Or your failures, because you have to take responsibility for your own actions. You have to take responsibility for the work that you put in, right? And for the output too. You got to be responsible for that, because it's nobody else's fault but your own. If things happen the way you want them, or if they happen the way that you don't want them to happen, it's nobody's fault but your own. And in order for that to happen, you have to be honest with yourself and ask, am I actively participating in my success, or am I actively participating in my failures? And no, if you say it out loud, no, you don't want to you don't want to fail. No, you don't want to be the reason why, and you'll fight tooth and nail to say that you are not the cause of you being failing in any endeavor that you have. But the absolute truth is that you are. The absolute truth is that you are, right? Hello, Rosalicia. Hello, good morning, good morning, good morning. And so, with that being said, I wanted to see what it is that you actually need in order for you to feel successful, because success is going to look different for everybody. So, what do you need in here to be successful? My goal is to have you connections that you need for whatever areas that you need it in business, but at whatever areas that you need clarity, but at whatever areas that you need to sharpen up in, for whatever areas that you need to learn. My goal is to bring those people and put them in front of you. And so by me asking you these questions are something that I need in order to help you, help me help you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times we're out here thinking that we have to do everything by ourselves. And most of the times you do have to do things by yourself. Well, all the time you got to do things by yourself, but you can also have a community of people that are pushing you and helping you to get towards those things. So where is it that you need help? Where is it that you need help? Right? Because if you are not doing what you need to do, then guess what you're doing? Participating in your failure. Right? If you know that you should be posting a couple of times a day and you don't, because you didn't feel like it, or you didn't know what to post, or the day just got away from you, you actively participated in your failure. If you know that your pictures on your website are not up to par, and you know that you need to take some better pictures, or you need to maybe get professional pictures, or you need to do something else, if you are not doing that and you allowing your website to sit there and look like that, knowing that you need better pictures, knowing that you need better descriptions, knowing that it's not easy to navigate, if you know these things, you are actively participating in your failures. And this is the only way that I can make it sound, like put it in your face to make it sound like, it's time for you to stop sitting on what you got going on complacency. Instead of sitting on that, it's time for you to get up and get active and do the things that you need to do in order to make it better. You can't say you don't have sales. You can't say you're not making money. You cannot say things are not happening for you if you're not happening for the things that need to happen. You can't say that, okay, these are all the things that I want, and you're doing absolutely nothing to achieve it. You got to start participating in your successes. You got to start participating in the things that and your goals. Like, you got to actively be there. Those goals are not going to achieve themselves. You got to change. You got to do things, and you got to flip that switch in order for the things to happen. And if you're not going to flip the switch, then there's nobody you can blame for you. So now, again, are you actively participating in your failures or your successes? Right? So that may sound a little harsh, right? That may sound a little harsh. You know that there's some things that need to be done on your website, right? I know, and I'm going to use Chantel as an example, because I just seen her beautiful body butter labels, which are gorgeous, right? Do your packaging needs a little zhuzhing, right? What are you waiting for to zhuzh it up? Anybody in here thinks that their packaging needs to be zhuzhed up? One's in the chat. One's in the chat. And put twos in the chat if you think your packaging is there. You know what I'm saying? I think my packaging is there. I think it's spot on. It goes with my brand. It goes with the aesthetic. Everything looks good. I'm absolutely proud of what that looks like for me. If that's you, then put a 2. But if you know that you need some work on your labeling, if you know that you need some work with how your product is coming across, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. It may sound harsh, but you have a point though. Thank you so much, Big Meech. It's 100% the truth. Hey, y'all. Hey. Let me see. Sometimes no facts. Okay. Let me say no. It doesn't sound harsh. Come on, Rosalie. I love that. I definitely need to hear this. Okay, come on, come in the room, girl. Come in the room. This is all facts. Yes, one, I can always improve on something. And that is a great point, Melissa. I want to say that is a great point because we as entrepreneurs, we should never get so complacent in what we think is going to happen, with our business, thinking that we can't improve, right? We should never get there. I got sent something this morning from a company that is asking for donations and stuff like that for the company, right? Thriving during during the panorama, thriving. And this is the thing, is that you probably rested on what you knew and thought that everything was going to come in the way that it came in during the panorama. But everybody got a rude awakening when people started getting back in the streets. When people got back in the streets, people are not easily spending their money like this. And now you got to come up with something different. Now you got to come up with a different way to get in front of them, because now they in the streets, they got other distractions. You are not just landing right there because they don't have anything else to do. So now you got to come up with something different. Now your game plan has got to change. And a lot of people, they don't know how to pivot. And that's the problem. You have to learn how to pivot, because when the messaging is not getting through, that means you can't keep on doing the same thing that you was doing then, because it's not working now, because the conditions are not the same. And since the conditions are not the same, that means that you got to change. And if you're not going to change, guess what? You're going to be out here in these streets asking for donations. And you can't, like I said, to me, if I'm going to be asking for donations for my business, then I got to be giving something. I got to be like, to me, and this is just me, and if this is you and I'm offending you, I apologize, because that's not my intention. But if I can't make my business work without you giving me donations, then I'm not going to be able to make it work when the money came in. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, if I can't make this happen now, no amount of money is going to make it better, because I still got these poor habits. I still got these poor, my discipline is not there. I have no plan. I have, like, what is the plan after that happens? You have to remember, we had this whole conversation with Angela too. You have to have a plan for your money. Right? You have to have a plan for when that money comes in, because that money is going to come, it's going to go just as quickly as it came in. What's the plan? That's the you getting that money is not going to be the solution. You having a plan is going to be a solution. Like, what is the strategy? What are we doing after this, sis? Like, what do we do? Right? And we have to be able to pivot, right? Again, because things are going to change. The market is going to change. The economy is going to change. Things are going to change. That is a given, right? You're going to have great times. You're going to have droughts. You're going to have good times. You're going to have bad times. You're going to have ups. You're going to have downs. That's going to happen with anybody, right? But you have to make sure that, first of all, you got to understand what your why is, because if you don't have a good why, then anything that knocks you off of your position is going to just blow you away, right? Because you have no why. You have no reason for you to stay there. You have no reason for you to stand up and fight through it, right? Because, well, I'll just do this. But if you ask for something in your business, then what are you using it for? Because there's so many free options that you could use that will help you grow your business. But if you're not willing to utilize those things, then when the money comes, you're not going to be willing to do that either. Right? They say this all the time. You can have an idea in your head, but if you're not willing to do the work and you don't have a plan, then it's just going to be an idea that's just going to be sitting there. How many of y'all with me? Let me know if y'all with me. Let me know if y'all with me. Let me be clear. It may sound harsh to some people, but to me, it doesn't. Thank you so much, Big Meech. Let me see. I'm working on it. You can always improve on something. Yes. Every day I'm learning. Every day is a learning opportunity, and having a business is trial and error all the time. There's always room to improve. Yes. Let me know if y'all with me in the chat. Let me know if y'all with me, because I feel, and this is my personal opinion, I'm not speaking like, if this is you, like I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I'm also going to say what my truth is. So then there's that. Okay, but if you ask for, like, let's say you get the funding, right? You get not even funding, because this is not even grants. Like, you're asking people to give you money. This is not like you are out there, getting grants, participating in competitions, or getting loans from the bank, or things like that. This is you asking customers for them to help you with your business, because business is not doing what it used to do. Well, if business is not doing what it used to do now, what makes you think that when that money comes in, it's going to do what it got to do? Does anybody understand what I'm trying to say? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about nobody in this room. Nobody in this room. Believe me, I'm not talking. I absolutely love all of my BBU tribe in here. It's not about you. It's definitely not. But if you are asking for something and you can't make it happen without it, then how are you going to make it happen when you have it? Right? You may say, "Oh, well, it's for me to get inventory and da 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 da." But while you getting that money for the inventory, what do you work? What's the plan behind that? What's going to help keep that momentum going? Do you plan on having ads in place? Do you plan on selling in different places? Do you plan on being at markets? Do you plan on, like, what's the plan after this? Because like I said, easy come, easy go. That money comes and goes. It comes and it goes. So what's the plan? And so I say all of this to say we need to have a plan. We need to have a plan, right? Because you want to do things, but in order for these things to happen, you've got to have the plan. You got to say, all right, well, I know that I want A, B, and C, and in order for A, B, and C to happen, I need to have some kind of a plan. Even if it's like, all right, I'm just gonna put I'm a produce content twice a day. So I'll do something in the morning, I'll do something in the evening. I'm gonna produce content twice a day so I can improve my visibility. I am going to make sure, I have been slacking on my emails. So you know what? Maybe I could be sending out emails to my customers, and talking to my customers and letting them know this is what we got going on. Oh, maybe we'll have an affiliate program. If you really love our products and you would like to be one of our advocates, we would love that. And you could even make a small commission, stuff like that, that's going to help you grow your business. But you got to have something in place. You can't just say, once I get this money, oh, it's just for inventory. You got to have a plan for the inventory. You're going to get that inventory, but who you selling it to? You get the inventory, but who are you going to sell it to? Who are you speaking to? Do you know who you're speaking to? Do you know if there's anybody you even have to sell that thing to? Yes, you know that before you had major, major, major success, and you had all of this success, but what did you do? You cannot, this is one thing that we cannot do in business, and I stand by this because this is my experience. You cannot rest on complacency. You cannot rest on just coasting. You have to always be forward thinking, because if you're not forward thinking, then when you are getting challenged in business and things are going a little slower, they may not be, the momentum may not be as fast as it was. When things are starting to get slower, then you got to think, okay, well, now it's time for me to put this plan in play. Now it's time for me to do this. Now maybe I should start approaching other people and collaborating with them. Maybe I should do some kind of event. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should do more pop-up shops. Maybe I'm not in front of my customers. Maybe I lost track of who my customers are because I just was coasting, right? And that could also happen, because once we get into, like, if we get into a steady rhythm, a lot of the times, because we're so creative, and sometimes we get tired and we'll just be like, well, things are moving, I'm getting sales, I don't have to do anything. But that's the time when you need to be thinking of other things, because it will definitely just be something that you'll lose focus and you'll lose track of who your people are. That's so easy to do, right? Because when I initially started, remember I told you guys I've been in business for 14 years. When I started because I was not an influence. I wouldn't say that, because when I started YouTube, it wasn't this influencer money, right? But I was a personality on YouTube. So my customers were my people that followed me because of my makeup. They weren't my customers because they loved my products. They were my customers because they followed me on makeup and they said, this is a new business venture. I'm going to support it. It wasn't because they were my core customers, right? It wasn't until after they started to drop off that I realized that I had to start finding who my customers are. Like, because I was like, okay, I'm out of touch. I was able to easily sell products because of who I was. But now when I really had to do the work, things shifted a lot, right? Things shifted a lot. And we do this as entrepreneurs. Things are going to shift with us. We have to always make sure that we are speaking to our target market, that we are engaging them in a manner that speaks to their soul. Like, it has to resonate with them. What are we saying? What are we doing? Are we actually speaking to the people who we setting out to sell to? Because if we're not speaking to them, then you're speaking to nobody. And you got to make changes. You got to start shifting. And that was something that I had to realize as a business owner. And it's not even just like that one shift from YouTube to actually finding my target market. No, I had a couple of shifts. I had a couple of shifts because in business, I had to start skimming things down. Like, when I first started, I had everything. I had candles, wax melts, soaps, bath bombs, sugar scrubs, um, body mist. I had everything when I started, right? And so I had to realize, yeah, I like doing all those things. They help to keep me creative, but all of those things are not things that sell. So then I had to start skimming things down, right? So the people who I had to start eliminating the things that didn't sell. So my bath bombs was one of those things, right? So then I stopped focusing on the bath products, right? So I had bath bombs, bath salts, bath truffles, and my aunt even sent me a message like, "Girl, you still making them truffles?" And I was like, "No, I don't make them anymore because people aren't buying them like they used to." So I took that off I took it off the website. And so I will make it for her, of course, but those are things that didn't work out for me. Now, did I lose some of my bath people? I probably did. But guess what? My bath people weren't supporting enough to know that, you know what I'm saying, to that I could keep that stuff there. It didn't make sense for me to keep those things there, keep spending in that area when, I'm not selling as much. So now what I do is I'll offer them on occasion, right? So I don't exactly lose them. I still keep them interested and they still keep their eye out on me, but I had to start, cutting some of the fat, because if you don't, you're going to be wasting a lot of money. And then when you look at your profits and you see what's coming in, you're going to be looking like, I'm not making any money. I'm putting more money out than I'm making. And it's because I'm putting this time and effort in. It may not even be money. It may even be time, right? You putting time into something that you're not getting back. Like, you're not getting the value of your time, right? And so you have to make sure that you have to, this is not where I'm not making a lot of money here. I'm not making a lot of money off of these products. Maybe this would just be something that I offer on special occasions. It's not something that I am willing to, you know, focus on solely, especially if you have products that are selling like hotcakes. Focus on those, but you don't want to end up getting, and my point was about getting complacent, right? And so I was resting on that. I rested on all my people. Then I had to shift, and then I had to start cutting the fat, right? And then I had to shift again, because now I'm not speaking to my people. Then I had to shift again because I'm back in beauty. So now I got to make sure that I'm speaking to my people that are interested in beauty, beauty products, right? I have to make sure I'm speaking to the people that are cleaning their makeup brushes. I got to make sure that I'm talking to the people that care about a quick skincare routine, right? That you don't have a whole bunch of products to do, that they just want to do something with 2 steps. And now I have to speak to them. But you got to keep on looking at who my customer profile is and what am I doing, and am I really speaking to them. And you may have to shift, but you can't get complacent, because once you get complacent, you're going to lose them, and it's going to be double time for you to try to get them back, right? It's going to take you double the time in order for you to get those people back. So you got to make sure that you got to have a plan. You got to have, and I don't want to say you got to have a hustle, because then that kind of take away from, you growing your business, because when people say hustle, you think that they're talking about just anything to do money. But if this is your baby and this is what you want to create legacy with, this is something that you want to grow. This is something that you want to have for a long time, then you have to be able to pivot. You have to be able to make adjustments, and you cannot rely on, being like hosting. You cannot rely on that. You always have to think ahead, right? You always have to think ahead. What's the plan? What am I going to do? If business starts to get slow, what can I do? They say, Will Smith said, I don't need a plan B because plan A is going to work or whatever. I know I said it wrong because I always say things wrong, but I don't need a plan B because plan A is going to work. But how are you going to make plan A work for you? This is the deeper part. So maybe plan A is not, maybe it's not, oh, you need a plan B. Maybe plan A, it looks like it's revised. Maybe plan A looks like it needed a amendment. Maybe plan A looks like it just needed a little bit of a shift, right? It doesn't look like an absolute change and you going into another point. It just looks like it needs a little tweaking, right? And so maybe plan A needs a little tweaking, and you got to start thinking, what happens if, right? Not saying that it will happen, but should things start to slow down, I need to make sure that this can happen. I need to, like, one thing I would suggest, if anybody has like a physical storefront, right? Sometimes your sales are going to be slow. So what can you do in that space? How can you maximize that space? Because the bills, the overhead, everything still has to be paid in that space. How can you maximize that space where you don't have to solely rely on you selling products? Right? What else can you do? What else can you offer in that space that is going to help um become a cushion for you so that you are still able to maintain and take care of your overhead, right? I had two storefronts. So I know every time you're not going to be able to make your overhead. I know that for sure. Every time you're not going to make your overhead. And especially if you're somewhere like in a mall where your rent, like my rent was and pretty low in the strip mall, right? But in the mall itself, the rent is over thousands and thousands of dollars, and to be in the mall, in a kiosk and things like that. So how are you going to make that money? What else can you do? What else can you do to bring traffic in there? You know what I'm saying? What kind of buzz can you create? Can you do events in there? Can you I used to have birthday parties in my space. I used to have make and take parties with me. I used to have vendors come in, and we used to have like a ladies' night kind of thing, and everybody in the different small businesses come in and offer their products and just have a whole event so that the community can come out and they can still support. And so when that event is over, we cross promoted, so when they know that they're looking for a bath and body something, they'll come to me, or they'll know where the shop is from now on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have something else. If you have a brick and mortar, what else can you do within this brick and mortar? Can you offer some services? Can you do some candle making classes? Can you do some little group parties and things like that? Can you do stuff like that? What can you do in that space that is going? Maybe you could do a little block party. Like, what could you do in your space? So maybe in the summer when people are not around in your town or whatever, maybe you could offer a block party where you have like, different things happening and then you selling your products. What could you do that's going to make you, to still help you create that money that you need for your business? Because again, having a brick and mortar is, it looks like a dream, and it feels like, oh my God, I can't wait till I have a store. You think that's the best thing. And I don't want to crush nobody's dreams, but it's a lot of work. You definitely need help with that. It could be your dream. You could absolutely love it. But let me tell you something, you need a support system behind that. Because if you don't have a support system behind that, it is you that is working however many days you set out on the clock. You cannot go on vacation. You cannot have your weekends off, because that's most of the time when people are shopping. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you're able, and you can't keep on saying, oh, well, I'm gonna close the store down when I have this, or I'm gonna close the store when I do this, because people are going with the hours that you say that you have on your door. So if you say that you're gonna be open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and on the weekends this time to this time, if people don't see your notes or whatever you put on Facebook, They're not going to know that you're not open. And what if they do go to the store and they made a trip to go see you and the store's closed, right? And you may have your child something to go to. You may not be feeling good. Maybe your child's not feeling good. Maybe you want to go on vacation. Those type of things, you got to, this is why you have to have a plan in place, because the store, you got to work it even when you don't feel like it. Like my weekends were in the store. I didn't have weekends. My weekends was in the store. And my days of the week, I only offered, some days of the week. But since I was already there making stuff, I said I would allow customers to still come in. But it's still, you have to, you still have to have some kind of structure in place, because you cannot do it by yourself. If you want to have a store, and this is a little advice, this is advice, pockets of advice in this live. If you want to have a store, make sure you have a team, right? Make sure you have a team, because if you do not have a team, it's going to be difficult for you to try to run that thing by yourself. It's going to be very difficult for you to run that thing by yourself. It all boils down to how bad you want it, period. Yep, that sounds like fun. It was. A store is the worst. Let me tell you something. And your money just goes. It just goes. You know what I'm saying? You have two households to take care of. Your money just goes. You know what I'm saying? And so if you can't make up that money, if you don't have a way for revenue to come in when the season is slow, like especially the summertime when everybody's on vacation, what are you going to do in that place while things are slow? Like, certain things automatically go, right? Food, they're always going in for food, period. I know that is for sure, right? They're always going into the food store because you need food, but they don't always have to go get candles. They don't always have to go get soaps and things like that. So how can you make it so that they need to come into your shop? What could you do? You got to come up with different ways. People are always looking for something to do. Maybe you're looking for a date night thing. Maybe you're looking for something for your kids to do. Maybe you're looking for something for just the ladies to do. What can you do in your space that's going to help supplement the money that you're going to be losing due to whatever your slower seasons are, right? And so that's just one thing that I would suggest. If you want a brick and mortar, that's something that I would suggest that you do. Something that I would suggest you do. And with everybody, I think we should all, and I include myself, we all need a plan as to when times get slow, when times get challenging, they may even be difficult, right? When times get hard, what are we going to do? How are we going to sell, right? That means we're going to have to be more visible. That means you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone, and you're going to have to be more visible. What does that look like? That looks like you showing up on social media. That looks like you showing up in your newsletters, right? Or having something go out. That means you may be perhaps going live. That means you may be attending events, right? And saying that you're going to be in somebody's area. That means that you may have to do markets. That may mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference when things start to get hard. Your brain may start to work and try to solve these problems for you, and then you start finding solutions, but that's because your back is pinned up against the wall. You should be thinking about these things ahead of time. So I hope that something that I said resonated with you guys. I hope that something that I said stuck with you. You need to definitely have a plan. Do not rest on being complacent. Do not think that just because everything is going smooth now, that it's always going to be going smooth. And even if you are getting do not just ask for donations and not have a plan. Like, okay, I'm gonna ask for donations, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep you posted on what's happening. I'm going to show you what we're doing. I'm going to show you. You don't necessarily, because they tell you don't say what your plan is and stuff like that, but you don't necessarily have to say everything, but you do have to say that things are moving forward and up, onward and upward. You can't just be saying, oh, I need this money because things ain't working out. Okay, so they're not gonna work out when you get it either. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work out when you get it either. What's the plan? What's the plan, sis? What we doing with this? When this money come in, this is what we doing. What we doing? What we doing? Am I going to take half this money and make this money grow for me? Am I going to take all this money and spend it on all the bills? Because let me tell you something. When you put all your money on all the bills, guess what? Now what? Bills need to be paid again. Bills need to be paid again. So where are you going to get the money from the next time? Man, if I see one more GoFundMe or crowdfunding campaign, I'm telling you. I do love what Pinky is doing. Like she's, she promoted the business and people are purchasing from the business so that they're able to, work the business. But come on. Now, if somebody is saying they're gonna raise money and they're selling products to raise money for their business, I get it. Share my products out with people. Take my products and share it. We're trying to reach this milestone, this revenue goal. This is what we're trying to do. Can you please take this video out? And even if you don't purchase, but just please share it. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to do this. We're not trying to ask, we're not asking you to give us money for free. We're asking for you to buy the product and we'll ship you the product and it's going to be lovingly made and da 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 da. Like, but those things are the things that I think that people are missing. You know what I'm saying? We got into a day and an age where people just like, okay, well, I don't have it, so I'm gonna ask. No, you got to figure out, if you can't do it now, you're not going to be able to do it with it. Believe me when I say it. And even when you do have it, are you going to wisely spend this money? Are you wisely going to put it where it should be? Like, because again, sales are not just going to happen. They're not just going to magically come out of the air because they were like, oh, you got the money that you needed. Let me give you my sales now. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You have to figure this thing out. If you can't figure it out now, you're not going to figure it out when you have the money. You're not going to figure it out when you have the money. This is why they say the people who win a lottery, they squander their money and it goes so fast and they don't even know what to do with it because they don't know how to manage it. They don't know what to do with it. Yeah, initially you think that you're going to get all the things that you wanted to get when you didn't have the money. And then when you get it, you got to maintain it. So now how are you going to maintain it? Because now how you planned on flipping that money? How do you plan on, you know what I'm saying? Like the bills still got to come. The bills still come through. So what we doing, sis? What we doing, sir? What we doing? Let me see. People just begging for money. Like, get up and go do a market or something. I'm telling you. You have to be self-sufficient. Yes. If you need to ask for money and GoFundMe, you do not think things through. Nope. Make sure you are financially ready to start your business and keep it running. Sacrifices need to be made, and plan A, B, and C. Yes, needs to be established. Yes, sacrifices need to be made. Say that again. Period. Work, but it's you get immediate customers. You know what they're thinking. You get their feedback immediately. That's a perfect place to be for a focus group, right? You get to see what people are looking at. You get to see what people really like. You get to see, how they try it, how to speak to them. You can keep changing up your pitch. Online, you can't do that. Online, you guessing, right? Online, you guessing. This is how I think I want to talk to you. But when you're at the market, you can actually try this out. And Alejandro, perfect person in the building right now, Patricia, Alejandro's going to be talking about that in June. So make sure y'all in the room for that, because it's definitely something that we have to start taking advantage of. And we got to start thinking about these things, right? The market is going to be the perfect place for you to perfect what it is that you're doing. Right? Because like I said, online, you're guessing. Online, you're trial and erroring it. You're trying to see how to speak to your people. You're trying to see what's going to work, what's going to stick. But at the market, you get to actually engage with your people and see what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and how they interact with you, how they move through your products, right? Because now you can use that information and say, oh, this is how they're moving through my products at the market. Let me do this on my website. Let me flow this way in my website and see if that's going to change for my online customers. Let me do this to see my people at the market, when they come to the website, it's going to be something similar there's going to be the similarity of the flow. And so since there's going to be that similarity of a flow, they're going to know how to easily navigate through my website. They're not going to be confused. They're not going to, you know what I'm saying? They're going to actually know what they're doing. And that way it's going to help you. It's going to help you guys. Let me see. There's a lady that keeps sending me her crowdfunding campaign for her store opening. The fact that she's doing that says that she wasn't ready to open up a store. No, she's not, and she's still not ready. She's still not ready because when you open up a store, you should have a couple of months of rent. When you open up a store, you should have your bills taken care of, because they are still going to have to get paid, or they are going to get shut off. You got to figure that out, because things are still going to happen. Nobody's going to say, oh, you got the money, but you can't do it right now. Nobody's going to say that. They're going to be looking for their money. The rent costs this much. The electricity is this much. This is this much. Your internet is this much. You got to pay it. You got to pay it. So if you're going to ask for it, you got to know how you're going to maintain it. I'm not giving money to someone to fund their dreams, period. But I'll buy something for you to raise money for something. Absolutely. Markets give you so much data to tailor your business to sell more. Yep. 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 And again, you're not guessing. Online sales are amazing, right? Because you get to sell to everybody, but you also don't get to know how people really engage with you, because they are not voicing their opinions to you. They're going to go to your website. It's a little difficult to navigate through. They're going to click off. They're going to go to, you know what I'm saying? They're going to go to a product. They don't know exactly how it's used. They're going to walk. They're going to go away. Right. And so they may or may not return. You don't know this, right? But at a market, you kind of you get to speak to people and see what their thoughts are. So now you can use that to fix that. So I hope that this information was helpful. Like I said, I'm not picking out anybody in here talking about this. This is somebody who's trying to open up a store. And if you don't understand that you need to have a plan, or if you don't understand that you should use your gift in order for you to make money to fund that dream, when you have the money, you're not going to be able to continue and maintain that anyway. So you got to make sure that you're able to keep up with the things that you say that you want. Because how long is that store going to be in business? If you don't have the money now to maintain it, how long can you operate the store? Right? Sales and people are not just going to walk in there. What's the plan? What's the plan? You know what I'm saying? Like, things ain't just going to happen just because you got it. Now, what's the plan? Now you got to put those things in action. What we doing? I agree with Patricia. I will always purchase from you to support, but you got to get your own funds together for brick and mortar, period. Period. That's why I love in-person selling. Yep. Yep. Facts. I love vending at markets, but it gets too hot in Texas. I know, and my health is jeopardized in the summer. I know that's right, Miss Lloyd. So I know you got to take care of yourself. But you have the experience in the markets. Take the experience that you've had, Miss Lois, and put that into your website. Take that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've done markets and you've done them exhaustively. Is that exhaustively? You've done them to, like, I'm markets on weekends or even weekdays. Like, I've seen you work your markets. I know that you out there in them streets. So use that information and start applying that to your website for your online sales. A lot of stores are opening their lobbies to vendors because we bring in people. A lot of stores are opening their lobbies to vendors because we bring in people, period. Yep. See about indoor ones. Yeah. I'm working on it now. And see if you can collaborate with, like, salons, maybe you could collaborate, because I used to do that too. I used to collaborate with my local businesses. Besides my shop, I used to do things in their place. So when they had their customers in, like, we have this it's a deli, but it was a small deli initially because we were right next door to each other, but they purchased a bigger store. And with the bigger store, they have half of the space is where you can sit down and eat, and it's huge. And then they have the side over here where you can order your food. And so the people don't really trickle in on this side when they're ordering, so it doesn't affect anything. So they would let us, you can still sit inside or outside, like, it's a big space. And so they would let us have vendors in there. They would let me vend in there. They would let me vend outside. So when their customers came in, I would be able to sell products. They would come and they would look and see what people had. And so, I mean, it was a great thing. But see what you could do with other people too. You don't necessarily have to be at a market, like Patricia said. You can be, collaborate with somebody who actually has the space. You know that they have customers coming in. You bring your customers as well and let people know that you're there. And then let's see what we can do. Right? Let's see what we can do. It's better than a zero. It's better than a zero. Let me see. You'll ask you'll forever ask for money. Right. If you can't get it together, that's what you're going to always do. Because that means, and I'm not going to say that means you bad with money, but that means you just didn't have a plan for your money. Right. You didn't have a plan. A lot of stores open their lobbies. I read that one. I'm working on it now. Okay. Can we do a class on how to find markets and what's it? Patricia. Patricia, that's for you. Will you want to do that? Can we do a class on how to find markets and what's worth it and what isn't? Also, how to know if it's a scam. Selling live works too. I know most of you are pros, but some are newbies. I am talking to others to collaborate with them now. It's not a lot of inside markets in my area. Yes, go to places where you think you can, go outside, not outside their business, but like Patricia was saying, in the lobbies. Again, I was in the deli, and I was on the other side, nice air conditioned space. I didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't have to worry about tables. I didn't have to worry about setup. I didn't have to worry about I had to worry about my setup, but I didn't have to worry about the tables and the chairs and everything because they already had that there, and they let us use the chairs. And so all we did was set up along the wall, and we sold in the store. They were selling too, right? They had like beer and wine and stuff like that. So they're selling while we're there because our people were, and they had the kitchen open for us. They would open up the kitchen, even though they were closed, they would still open up the kitchen so that people, the people that were coming in the shop, they could still go over there and buy. So we both were cross promoting, right? We both were still making money. So, it was beneficial. They didn't charge me for the space, and we brought the customers in. They had more customers that came in to purchase food and drinks, and we had customers that purchased our products. I find most of my markets on Facebook. Let me see. Shoot, I have tons of market stuff. We literally do shit every weekend, every single weekend. We're taking off Memorial Day weekend. That was a struggle. I know, because that's a big one. I was trying to figure out how to have a team selling for us. I know that's right. Reggie put his foot down and told me I could take 1 weekend off. I know Reggie's like, I had enough. We're gonna take a weekend off. I had enough of this. Stores love vendors. Reach out to them. We have some collaborations for the summer with stores. Yep. So with that being said, y'all, Patricia, I'm gonna send you a message and see, when we could do a conversation. I know that you guys got vacation and stuff, so maybe we could do a 2-for-1, and then because we're gonna have Alejandro on, so maybe we could do a 2-for. But if not, I will see when Patricia's available. But this is her busy season, so I'll see, and she could tell help about markets. Mexico this weekend, nice. Nice. We'll be out. We'll be in Texas this weekend. So hot. Yeah. So with that being said, everybody, make sure you follow me on all social media. Bubble Babes, BABEZ University, everywhere. Follow me on social media. Also, if you'd like to join the community, go on ahead over to Bubble Babes, BABEZ University.com. Click community. It is free to join. There's lots of information there. Go on over there and grab you some. Make sure if you are catching the replay, make sure you put replay gang. Let me know if you enjoyed this episode. What else? Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications bell so you can know when you can be notified when we go live. We go live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Coffee with Nikki, your daily cup of information and inspiration. We also go live 7 p.m. on Thursdays for Live in the Session Studios. This Thursday, we are going to have Miss Kathy Z of Ravish Soap, and she is going to show you guys how to use Photo Room, the app, so that you can create dope product photography and content. So if you were stuck with your product photography, you don't know if it's, that it's not looking professional, but you want to give it that little edge so that it could look like something, make sure you are in the building. Make sure that you put 7 p.m. on your calendars for Thursday evening. Put it on your calendars, y'all. Okay. So, with that being said, y'all have an amazing day. Thank you so much for rocking with me. I got things to do in the garden. I got things to do with these favors. I got a whole lot to do before Thursday. So, y'all have an amazing day. I will talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.